Everybody, hang on. Wamu.
It's also a sad thing. Attica will never be able to finish JoJo.
Well, you know.
Just don't.
Well, let's start the episode off. Great, man. Really appreciate you just throwing that out there. Jesus.
Hi, guys. We're back again with another Fireside.
We did it. We're back again.
It's been a minute.
It's been a few minutes, actually.
Yeah, just a few.
Just only a few.
Yeah.
We're going to do your guys' favorite, another, what do you want to call these segments? Like roundup? Comment roundup? And we have like a thing on the screen like comment roundup.
I mean, if we have the budget.
Well,
I feel like that's a lot of work.
okay, well, maybe just like a small text, like comment roundup.
Comment roundup. Yeah, I mean, it could be. We'll work on the name.
Yeah.
For now, Q&A, I guess.
We could stick with what works. Yeah, Q&A.
Q&A. People know what Q&A is.
But how's your week been? How's everything been going?
It's going well. You know,
Yeah.
Things have been going pretty quickly as well. I mean, as you know, I'm getting married next month.
Yeah. So
a lot of
little background for people who aren't familiar with Luke's intimate life. Luke went on like a 6 or 7 day bender out in Vegas, and he found this amazing girl. What was her name again?
Oh, yeah.
Chastity.
Yeah, Chastity.
And he ended up getting married over there, and we're gonna have an official ceremony for him next month, I think. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that.
Hell of a girl.
Hell of a girl. She's in school to become a what was it? Doctor, she said?
An anesthesiologist.
An anesthesiologist. But she's just doing a little bit of dancing on the side right now.
She actually has her own studio.
Oh,
in
okay.
Vegas. That's the hard part. She wants to move down here, but she doesn't want to leave that life behind. But,
Right.
Hey.
Because basically every girl growing up in Vegas is like, man, I can't wait to get to fucking Indiana.
Right.
I can't, that's the dream. Just watch the corn grow and that's just beautiful.
All right. Enough of that. It's not what happens.
Over the rain.
There is no Vegas girl. There is none of that. I do not have. I didn't even go. I haven't been to Vegas since June. Seems like
Mr. Big Shot.
Since forever ago. But no,
Jesus.
it's my fiance / girlfriend for 10 years.
Yes.
Not a.
She's a very special lady. Shout out to Molly. Sorry, I even joked about that. She's a very special lady. Please don't kill me next month. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this piece of cake's for Alex. Hey, don't you touch that.
Don't touch that. She's special
for Alex.
Oh, okay.
So the Digital Fire says now canceled. Looking for new people.
Tragedy struck the other night as a prominent podcast host is found dead.
But no, things are going right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going quickly because there's a lot of shit being thrown at me right now.
So what goes into having to prepare for a wedding? Like
mostly, well, as a guy. It's funny because when you first sign up for doing all that stuff, your fiance will ask you a whole bunch of questions like, do you care? Do you care? And every single time you're like, no, I don't care. And then when she picks something, you're like, I don't know about that. Even if it's like something like flowers, like something you actually probably don't care about.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I want those colors. Like, I don't know. I feel like the blue ones are better than the orange ones. I don't know. It's just like little shit like that. But right now, it's just like the invites. People take forever to RSVP, even though you give them a date to RSVP. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, man, I forgot about it. Let me send it in. And it's like, oh, well, that means you're not getting food. So
it's all right.
It's not my fault. But just stuff like that, finalizing the final meetings with, like, the music and the church and the people involved that make it happen. And then remembering, I guess, to...
The Titans.
Remember the Titans.
Never forget.
Yeah, before every wedding, St. John's actually plays that to get you hyped to go into what they call marital battle. So, but yeah, a lot goes into it. But as a guy, not as much because I know my fiance's done way more. Of the planning.
Well, I think that as a kid, I think our society kind of like instills this like, hey, you need to, as every little girl growing up, you need to plan out meticulously your wedding date, and it's going to be something you're going to be like obsessed about because it's so important in a weird way. And men are just like, no, just whatever, man.
I mean, I think I was involved in the invite list. I was involved in the table, the music, and where it's going to be, when it's going to be.
That's good.
and then the suits in my groomsmen.
That is good.
I didn't choose the color of the suits
That's
because you has to go with the bridesmaid suits that she picks.
I
it's
get
gotta
that.
Complement or
Yeah.
match.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, but everything else that goes into the wedding was all her, which was a lot.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm stressed, but I'm sure she's way more. Well, how about you? What's going on in your world?
I have some things that I don't want to talk about right now.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, that has been the Q.
What I've been doing recently, I had just had Benjamin Boyce on the Digital Fireside. He is a pretty fascinating investigative reporter that has covered a lot of stuff with Evergreen College, that has covered some stuff with interviewing different people in regards to this next project he's working on about like transgenderism. And he was talking about how he interviewed this endocrinologist, which is really fascinating. He interviewed... Did you hear about this girl named Jessica Yaniv?
No.
This was like what the internet was so furious about for the past like week and a half. But it's basically this transgender woman trying to get estheticians to wax his genitals. But the problem was that he was didn't have any kind of surgery. So he's basically saying, hey, you know, and he would go to like official esthetician places. He would go to like estheticians working out of their home. So basically he would go to women by home alone by themselves, say, hey, wax my cock and balls, bigot. And when they refused to do it, he would open up a human rights tribunal case against them in Canada. This is the craziest shit. But like he was on oh God, he made the round. I'm so sorry. So she made the rounds, all over the internet, and then this really cool girl who's a transgender activist debated him. Her name is Blair White, I think. Blair White.
Which project? Blair White.
No,
Okay.
no. Blair White like debated him, and it just was like, it's so fucking weird, man. This whole thing was
Do you
wild.
think he like just like? Do you have a moment like those what do you call it? The guys who knock on your door.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witness. Do you think it was like that? Like, do you have a moment to?
Do you have a
Wash
moment
my
to
balls.
wash my balls, please?
Okay, let's just let me inside. You'll see. You'll see. He just puts his legs up.
Oh my God. You
Go
know.
about that.
Well, I don't know. That's the craziest thing because I think for a lot of people, he is. I'm sorry, she is.
Oh,
I know. Sorry,
it's all
sorry.
canceled. Now
There we go.
do
We're
this shit.
canceled now. Well, even then, like Blair, who is transgender, she was saying that like she doesn't really even believe that that Jessica Yaniv is genuinely trans. Which I don't know how that
Transitioning.
how that whole nuanced stuff goes. There's so many weird layers to it. That, you know, who are we as two straight guys, like, able to speak on this kind
Hey,
of
man,
stuff?
speak
you know?
for yourself.
Okay, well,
Who knows
sorry.
what's going in the works?
All right. Anyway, but so
Wash my balls.
Jesus Christ, it's been. You should look it up if you have a chance. It's been really interesting to watch and observe, and it's kind of like what we're doing as a society in 2019. And I'm pretty just stoked that we are. You know, instead of trying to go to the moon and
We already went to the moon, Alex.
well,
You mean having, like,
debatable, but, you know.
hoverboards and stuff like that?
instead of going to Mars.
Well, we already been to Mars. Robot form.
All right. Well, instead of going into space
I
somewhere.
think you said Uranus. I'm really ready for Uranus.
Well, we got to go to Jupiter
Already been
first.
there.
But oh, nice. But instead of doing this kind of stuff, we're kind of focusing on whether or not a man, biologically a man, should have his balls waxed by an esthetician. It just seems so I don't know, man. Whatever. This whole thing is so weird. So anyway, go check that out. Blair has some really good stuff that she has done covering him. Fuck. Luke, we're bombing. Keep on screwing this up. And
She's going to sue us soon.
yeah, right. And then Benjamin Boyce actually talked with the defense attorney on the case for the Human Rights Tribunal that Jessica is pursuing against one of these estheticians. It's really crazy to talk and listen to. But anyway, I interviewed him. We had a great podcast. I put it up actually today. Today's the 8th that we're recording on, so we put it up about an hour or two ago.
The Ocho.
The Ocho. Spanish language news is here.
Fuck you, Chuck Norris.
And so that's been cool. There's been some stuff going on with this documentary of remember that molecular biophysicist that came on here
Yeah.
a few months ago, saying that smoking DMT cured his cancer. So I have been observing him, and I actually went out to L.A. To do this bit of a documentary on him. And I got a ton of footage, covered all this sort of stuff. And then I kind of sat on it for a little bit to kind of see what else was going on, because he basically started this movement trying to raise awareness for DMT and trying to get more people to try DMT under his proclamation that DMT cured his brain cancer and that he is doing all this kind of cool shit. So I went to go investigate. Digital Fireside exclusive. And as kind of time went on, I got to kind of see more of the layers peeled back, and I got kind of this little aversion to like, oh God, do I really want to? Because like, I guess
10 toes down, man. You're either in or you're out.
well, here's the thing.
Gonna pass you by.
I've been noticing how I am as an interviewer and how I am kind of doing this investigative stuff. And like for me, I just started doing this less than 4 months ago. And I definitely like am still learning some of the ropes of that sort of stuff, which is why I'm kind of like, I'm reaching out to some other people that are more prominent than me in this sort of field and kind of seeing if they would mentor me or something like that. Because, it's one thing to listen to like a Joe Rogan podcast and be like, oh man, well, if I was doing this, I would ask him this question, or I would ask about this, or I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll talk about this. It's another thing when you're talking to someone like, for example, Ben, who, very intelligent guy, talks about very high concept stuff, and like you're kind of so engrossed in this conversation that, you kind of have your notes on one side, and then you kind of are like pay attention on the other side, and it's like, okay, well, I really want to pick his brain about all these different subjects because I have this fascinating person on. And in addition to that, I also kind of gave him, I don't know. I don't want to say I gave, and I'm talking about Chris now, but I don't know if I gave him too much of the benefit of the doubt with some of this stuff, because I went in very skeptical, stayed skeptical, and kind of left skeptical. But I've had people reach out to me that are saying, and you'll see in the comments when we go through it today, but they were saying that, hey, it's almost like we were in this weird society where just giving someone a platform makes you culpable. And it's almost like there are some people that think that just because someone appears on a certain platform, you automatically endorse everything that they say. And so they're like, oh, you're doing so much damage to these people that are
going out there doing it without
backing.
I mean,
but DMT's not. So it's interesting. The way I'm kind of coming away from that, and we'll probably get into that a little bit more, but the way I'm kind of coming away from it is that I think DMT is it's a great thing. I think that it gave me a lot of really, like my own DMT trip was very therapeutic and mind expanding and very kind of powerful in the way that I talk about it in some other videos, but it's definitely kind of made me reassess almost everything about my life. And I think that I'm not going to be like one of those people that tries to push it on people, because that's a wrong way to go about it, but I would encourage people to try it, because I think it's I think it's something that can do a lot of good for people, especially that are suffering from maybe like anxiety, some existential kind of stuff like that.
So let people separate what you're saying then. So
Sure.
what I'm hearing is that the first part, like you said, just because someone comes on your platform doesn't mean you automatically endorse whoever is that is coming to speak.
Right.
That's one part of it. The second part is now you're endorsing the product that man was using, but you're not saying that it cures cancer.
That's 100% correct. So it's not like he has this sort of monopoly on DMT. I mean, DMT existed long before he did, and it's not like he's the first one to talk about it. But I think that. So basically, you could follow him if you want. I think that he has his own YouTube channel, and it's interesting to kind of watch him try and express himself. I've reached out to him a few times because on a personal level, he is kind of pushing away a lot of people that have been really supportive of him, and is going through some kind of psychotic break, I think. It's gotten really crazy. But what I've been kind of gathering is that he was saying that his cancer, his brain cancer, was very like he may not have been entirely transparent with that and entirely like upfront with that, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Even though I kind of knew that all along, deep down, it's like, dude, there's no way someone's fucking brain cancer being cured by doing this substance. But there's still stuff that's actually developing in the past few days that have happened that I'm kind of waiting to see how that shakes out before I kind of go forward with that. But I've got a ton of footage and I've got a ton of great experiences out there. And it's something I'm not going to be like, I can't just sit on all that stuff. So I need to kind of reassess how that's coming out because I don't want to mislead people. Even if that weird fringe case, which I don't think anyone suffering from cancer is going to be like, oh my God, well, this fucking guy said it on his podcast that I'm just going to stop chemo. I'm going to stop all this kind of stuff and just go through and just smoke DMT. And then, well, fuck. I got a lawsuit on my hands. But, yeah, so I'm kind of, I need to take a little bit of a step back and reassess before I put this stuff out there. Because, once you put stuff out on the internet, it can't really go away, typically. So then that's been going on. I've got some other trips planned. I am talking with a representative from ICE right now, trying to see if I can get access to one of their facilities to try and see if I can go out and interview someone there.
Oh, Peter Parker action. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just a little research.
Okay.
Gonna get bit by something out there. Sure.
I also tried cold calling Immortal Technique to see if he would be interested, and I talked to his manager, and I got forwarded to him. He hasn't returned my email, but
why would you want to talk to Immortal Technique?
Because I fucking love his music. Like growing up, that was like what got me into rap.
Really?
Yes. So I was like,
well, maybe when
14 or 15.
Rap was Immortal Technique, Dance with the Devil.
That was more of a story. I wasn't really like a song.
That's what rap is, storytelling.
No.
Yes. It's poetic storytelling.
No.
I
think it can be.
No, but what is it?
You look at any kind of top 40 song right now, what is the story they're
right
trying to
now,
tell?
I'm talking about the base of where it
So like
began.
R&B or like hip hop.
No. Oh, so now you're saying there's a difference between rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I'm white.
Wait, what? There is no difference. Hip hop and rap are the same thing.
I don't know.
People want to separate that so they don't have to be held down to the standards that people put up. So
that's deep.
if you, Lil Uzi or something like that, don't want to be shit on for your new rap or new music, just say it's not rap, and then you will go about your life. That's what they've been doing. Now it's trap music. It's not rap. It's trap music.
Well, I could see the difference.
I'm just saying example.
Okay.
That's how people do that. Like, I don't want to be held down by the old head standard of what is rap.
This isn't your old man's rap.
Right. So I'm going to make sure
shit.
it's a different genre, even though it's pretty much the same thing.
No, I liked. I think I listened to Dance with the Devil like once, and I'm like, okay, it was more
enough.
like it was enough. I'm good. I was like fucking 14 at the time.
I was like, oh god, there's mom.
Yeah, listening to it like in my fucking room. It just got Dragon Ball Z posters on the fucking wall. Pokemon, like listen to this guy fucking killing this woman in the mud. But I really liked his album Revolutionary Volume 2. I remember when I went to summer school, I would listen to that biking up to summer school and biking back, and I liked Crossing the Boundary a lot. I liked Cause of Death, I think was another one. They're cool because like he was very I think he was like one of the first mainstream, and I say mainstream, he wasn't mainstream, but like he was like infamous, kind of like underground, talking about a lot of conspiracy stuff, and I like that.
He was like the first Hobson. He was like the first Hobson.
Who's Hobson?
The Black Eminem. But
what?
That's what people say. I mean, look him up. He's got good stuff. He's about your age.
I'll tell you what really stuck with me. Not Dance with the Devil, but You Never Know. Have you heard You Never Know by him?
No. I mean, I never know.
It was... All right, very funny. anyway, that was one of my favorites of his. So I cold called him. I'm not expecting an email back. Tech, if you can get a hold of me, I'd love to talk with you.
Oh, it's Tech now?
We're on a first name basis.
Yeah, even though you can't get a call back from
him. Left me on
That's really gonna get him to call you back.
Tech, Mr. Tech, please. No, he was a pretty big musical influence of mine growing up. But God, what else? I am starting very carefully reaching out to different people that are transgender and trying to kind of talk with some of them because I'd like to have a few people on to talk about this stuff.
Is there something that you'd like to share on the Fireside?
No, but I think that especially like coming through
It's exclusive.
Fireside exclusive. I'm a woman. All this time.
Transition.
Fireside transition. No, I think that, we see a lot of back and forth with this stuff. It has become a political football, and I think we forget that there are actually human beings behind some of this stuff that are going through like really heavy gender dysphoria that need help, and they're trying to do. It's not like they're doing it to trigger conservatives or like something like that, or like make fun of the right. Like they're doing it because they are suffering from serious, problems in their own personal lives, and they need help. And after listening to Ben's interview with this endocrinologist, it's definitely made me reassess. Hearing from someone in the medical industry about talking about that sort of stuff, it's definitely made me kind of reassess my standpoint on it. So I don't know. I want to do it justice, and I want to make sure that I'm respectful of all parties involved. So I'm trying to get that together. That's been very, like, imagine walking on a tightrope, fucking hammered above a pool of like venomous piranhas. Like that's how careful you need to be navigating this stuff, especially as me as a straight white male, like trying to come in and talk about this sort of stuff. It shouldn't be, but it is because of who I am.
It's just another Tuesday,
Yeah, totally.
Just another Tuesday.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not that bad, is it? To talk about nowadays.
Well, see, that's the thing is that
I really don't feel like people are that hesitant to talk about it right now.
I think that they aren't, as long as you're talking about it in one specific way.
Like in a good light.
As long as you're supporting transitioning. Yeah. I don't think that, like, where does someone stand who has their back just as much as someone who supports transitioning but thinks that maybe transitioning is not the right answer? They're kind of roped into that same bag as someone who is like against transgender people
in
permanently.
The most blatant way.
Like again, some of the stuff.
You ain't with us, you're against us type mentality.
Well, so it's hard to tell because I think that sometimes I spend more time browsing the internet than probably most people do because I like to do it for topic ideas, for discussions, and to kind of get a pulse on what's happening in the world. I've always liked doing that sort of stuff. So maybe that's kind of warped my own perspective a little bit, where it's like, okay, well, everyone's more inflammatory online and more touchy online. So maybe it's not really like that in real life, but I've seen plenty of YouTube videos where it turns out there's not that much difference between how someone gets upset online and in real life. There's certain people for sure. And the last thing I want to do is offend anyone and make them feel like they're being targeted. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about it. It may never come out because I may be like, okay, I don't think I can do this properly, or it's too much of a hot button issue, but probably will. It'll probably come out.
Yeah, I don't see it being too, unless they truly believe it's going to be some earth-shattering, groundbreaking,
no.
Multi-universe flipping, like discussion. Then I think people will be okay with it. You're going to have your gays and nays. It's going to happen.
Gays and A's?
Gays and AIDS.
What'd you say?
Gatorade. Powerade.
Gays and AIDS? What the fuck is this, the 90s? What else? To wrap it all up, I may be moving in October or September. We'll see on a few things. For 3 months, I'll be back.
So, when you asked me how I was doing, I was assuming it's going to be like a quick, this is what's been going on. I didn't expect us to really flesh out the whole what's been going on.
Just give an idea of what's been going on, like the next little outline of the next few months.
It's like, I thought you were doing the way you do it, like when you see an old friend's parent, I haven't seen since high school. Oh, so how you doing? Well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's great.
Cool. Anyway,
that's the thought what's going on, but
psych.
Just make me look like I'm not doing shit.
No, you're getting fucking married, man.
Fine.
You just
fine.
My problem is that
I just stand there. It's fine.
I talk too much. You had plenty of stuff to say. You just chose to be productive with your time because you realize we have to get to something else. Your comments and questions answered.
All right.
All right. So how do you
at?
want to do this? Well, we left off last time on Dragon Ball Z. I promise that wasn't.
Oh my God.
That wasn't. You can even look at the history.
His latest pull up on YouTube, what he just pulls up in his tab is Backstreet Boys' "I Want It That Way,"
We're
which
looking-
is
we're
a
looking at the
banger,
history for
but
this.
it's kind of questionable.
5 o'clock is when that came up.
There's that.
I promise. I
We
was looking
start
at
at
that.
6. So you recently were listening to that twice. It says
My shopping cart on soundmajors.com with a Z.
it's kind of questionable.
Sprint,
'Cause
switch
you're
to
just by
Sprint now.
yourself. It wasn't like people trying to vibe.
And look at
with
that
you.
1 minute before. I'm not going to say his name, but that's clearly not my email address.
Uh-huh.
So get off my back. Why don't you get all the way off my back, all right? I showed my girlfriend.
That dude's face.
I showed my girlfriend pitch meeting. Yes, she likes it a lot.
Oh yeah, that
she
guy's
got
great.
she got kind of upset that they made fun of Hotel Transylvania, but I'm like, whatever, maybe sucks. Yeah. Do you want to do it here, or do you want to do it?
Oh, you do it there. I got 6% of my phone, so
This
I can
might
always
be
see.
easier. Here's
All
the
right,
newest one.
So the last one we did go down.
Um,
Scrolly.
scrolly.
Last time we took off was
This one, right?
Yeah, so we did.
But we have people that have asked questions on this.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah.
On our old questions answered. Nice.
Live demo, folks. All right. So, do you want to start? How did you read them last time? Did you just go from the bottom and
I
go
literally
up?
just went from the top up.
From the top up?
Right. I've filtered it, sort by, and then I did newest first,
Newest first.
and then I went straight down.
Okay.
I mean, if they're just like, something that's just not. So like, aren't you the been drowned guy? Yes, that's been established.
Yeah. Well,
It's like I just skipped like those ones, but like
Okay.
most of them I read off.
Okay. So, do you want to start reading them first? Or do you want me to?
You can go ahead. That's
Okay.
fine.
So the first one comes in. This is on the questionsanswered.wmv video. First one comes in from Google user. Says, haha, wouldn't it be funny if Ben started sending Matt pictures of his feet? Haha, JK, or am I? Haha. No, but JK, LOL. Unless?
That's one for you because I'm not. I get it's been drowned, and I
the
get it's,
fuck is-
but I don't know if that was
Fucking
part
hate
of the
the internet.
script that you had in your game. I don't think that was one.
No,
So-
this is some dude with a foot fetish.
Oh, I gotta get those feet. Let me get those feet
Oh
over
my
here.
God. Okay. You want to read one?
Sure. Teresa Garnell says you should totally read out to people some ex-readers of your OC.
Okay, let me see if I can translate. So, you should totally read out to people some ex-readers. So, I became aware of this when my stuff started coming up. Basically said Ben drowned X, some other IP or property.
Oh, like a cross, like a
Kind of,
a-
like crossover,
Okay.
I think. And a lot of them are like very sexually charged in nature, so it's like... So
I mean,
basically,
Teresa really wants it, man.
Teresa basically says we should totally read some people some slash fiction of my OC, which is my original which is like my Ben Drown thing. Maybe. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna answer that.
Rose, someone writes in.
No, that's like Russian. You can't read it. That is Russian.
That is, yeah. Well, let's pop that in the Google Translate. See what happens with this. Russian to English.
Bizarre.
Russian to oh
Low prices on Amazon.
nope. Google Translate. Nope.
Oh my! This should not be this hard. Just Google Translate.
Trying.
Finally, so the question: how did Ben die all the same? I'm sure it's not 100% accurate.
Oh, you don't think Google Translate's a 1-to-1? Oh, okay. Ben drowned. Next question.
Stupid.
Okay. That's you.
Okay, so I've had this burning question in my mind. Okay, sorry. Umbre the Umbreon says, okay, so I've had this burning question in my mind for a while now. I don't know if I'll get a response, but I want to ask anyway. Alex, what is Ben's personality like, aside from toying with his victims and having fun? I'm trying to see if I can try and write him as accurate to canon as possible since I'm working on a fan project. I would really appreciate an answer, but I'm not going to beg you for one.
Okay, well, thanks for writing in.
Underneath it, no one says, Ben's personality is so bad.
So
Sick
bad.
comment,
It's
no one.
so
Sick
bad.
comment
Oh,
there.
my God. Ben was written, if you're talking about, like, his ghost now, I mean, it's definitely, like, very twisted, very malevolent, almost with, like, this weird childlike kind of thing. I'm going to compare this to Dragon Ball Z because
It's just
I
the
read a
inspiration.
comment. I was going through some of these. I was looking at them. I read a comment, and it's going to come into play later. Think of, like, I was going to say Kid Buu, but, like, Ben clearly is very, like, okay. Ben's, like, he's like a normal kid, but he has that weird sort of, like, childlike maliciousness, like the very violent, sadistic kind of. Because I think, like, all kids, until you get to a certain age, you're kind of a sociopath. You're kind of like, burning ants and stuff like that. No? Okay. Anyway.
I don't think I ever had that
All right.
feeling.
Well,
Maybe it's just you.
that's just me then.
It's just you.
But I think that most little kids are shitheads, and until their kind of moral compasses sort of start developing junior high and a little bit earlier than that, I think that he is pretty much like this, evil child person kind of thing.
What about that next one from Mike?
Mike,
Write that
so
one.
this is okay. So this is the guy I
Yeah,
looked.
yeah.
This is the guy that was talking on the last comment
yeah.
video that we kept on reading.
All the time.
He renamed his name.
Yeah.
So Mike writes, "What happened to that Ben Drown movie you bailed on?" Well, Mike, we addressed this in the last question and answers video that you are actually commenting on right now.
You even got commented on underneath your comments.
Yes, that is true.
So go back and look at the answer.
Yes. We already talked about that. And that was something that Clive Barker was working on that ended up not coming together. I would maybe keep your eyes peeled in the next few weeks, months of stuff.
There you go. You should stop just giving timelines. Just be
Good.
like, I'm doing this.
Good idea. I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the-
not doing
timelines
it. I
have been
didn't say
killing
that.
What about the creepy pasta? Hey, is Ben really on Cleverbot?
No. Yes. I don't know.
LOL.
Oh,
JK, maybe?
JK, unless. Anyone?
Unless. Okay,
Unless.
so what about these guys?
Uh,
back-to-back posts from one guy.
Okay. You want to do this one?
You got it.
Summer Azur writes in, been surprised to see you posting recently and consistently. I'll be interested in seeing what you continue to do. Was part of the original ARG, started on the creation of Within Hubris, and have been continuing to follow what you make. Hope you continue to do well. Also, Blamo, just curious, is anyone here from the original ARG? This is truth_kills from the Within Hubris forum. Can we get a roll call going? What's up, man? Good to see you again. I do recognize that username. It was a long time ago. That was the old forum I used to have. That's the guy, remember?
Yeah, I know. Sensational. But
Yeah, you
are
screwed
you
that
gonna,
one up. What?
you gonna like respond to Summer? Or you just gonna ignore
What
it?
was his question?
I mean,
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it. I mean, yeah, like, thanks.
That's like if I came up to you in the hallway and said, hey, Alex, I really appreciate what you're doing. Keep it up. You're just like, and just walked away. I was like, all right, well, fuck you.
Next caller, go ahead.
Yeah, like,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do. I didn't mean to come across like that. I thought I said thank you. I guess I have to go back to the tape for that. Let's pause here for a second.
but I could be building a Dragon Quest Builders 2 right now. I could be, but I'm here with you.
And we appreciate that.
Dragon Quest Builders is way better than
Dragon
Minecraft.
Quest Builders in stores now. Catch it.
Way better than Minecraft.
Catch it. It's coming at you this summer.
You ever played Builders?
Dragon Quest Builders. No.
Not Builders that game, but building games like that. Like played Minecraft and stuff like that.
Is that the genre?
Yeah, like Builders.
No. I mean, yes, but like not.
It's my
seriously.
first time, and it's actually really fun. Did not expect it to be that way.
All right. We're back here. Blah, 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 blah. We got to kind of chug through some of these, man. Okay. You may want to. Okay. Summer Azur continues to write in and says, you may want to boost volume or equalize your sound. There are parts that are so quiet, I keep turning my volume up and up and up and up. I've noticed that too. Keep in mind, I am not very proficient at editing audio stuff. I don't really do a whole lot of that sort of stuff, but I'm learning as I go. And a lot of this stuff is just kind of diving in, learning how to fucking swim after we figure it out. And yeah, it'll be. I'm hopefully it's gotten better since 2 months ago, but if it's not, please keep reminding me. I'm trying to figure it out. It's like it's much more frustrating than I thought it would be to figure the sound stuff out. Oh yeah,
cut him some slack, man. 100%. Cut him some slack. God, you fucking animals. Okay,
you're animals.
I see one I really like to.
Okay.
So, Carney Zul says, "Hey Alex, glad to see you somewhere other than Twitter."
Hi.
You got him. He got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You want to read some of these?
I just read one.
You want to read another one?
You are so lazy. Can I get a timestamp on where the actual questions regarding Big Jam takes place? This is a full hour of Dragon Ball Z and Smash Brothers. You're damn right.
You're damn right. And you know what? We would do it again.
Speaking of, the hero just drops.
Oh, really?
Smash Brothers, yeah.
Speaking
Banjo
of,
comes later.
Janemba actually just dropped today for Dragon Ball FighterZ.
It's true.
And I was playing him. He's pretty good.
Disappointed that Gogeta is a person, to be honest.
Why?
I mean, if Broly wasn't a thing, I wish Gogeta took his place. It makes sense that Gogeta and Janemba came together in the same time. Because
they didn't though, because
they
Gogeta
were announced at the same time.
Yeah, they were announced.
I'm saying, announced at the same time.
Yeah.
But then again, I wish that Broly wasn't twice. I feel like those people at Arc System should have known that the movie was about Broly. So they probably shouldn't have released the old Broly.
What do you think gave it away? Was it the fucking film called Broly?
Yeah, but I'm like, why would you release the old Broly? Now you have two Brolys, and you could have put in Oob, the goat. Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Or like Kefla or something like that.
Or use one of those super guys. Like, but now you have Team Goku 5000 versus all the other.
They came out with another Goku. They came out with Dragon Ball GT Goku.
That's actually cool though, as long as it's like a modified version.
I hate him.
Other than
he's so hard to hit.
Yeah, he's dope. There's a reason why in the grand finals both teams had a Bardock,
I know.
A Bardock and a GT Goku.
Yeah, because of course Bardock's always at the top tier. It's so stupid. Whatever. I'm not butthurt about it. I tried playing Janemba and I like him, but I don't know. He's very. I think he could be really good. It feels weird because like some of those, he feels like a DLC character. It's hard to put your thing or your thumb on it, but like you look at like someone in the base game, there's a lot of polish in their animations and stuff like that. And he just feels like his ultimate move or whatever, he does this like little finger thing, and he shoots a bunch of like glass at you. And the glass is just kind of like this weird, like after this really cool intro
like
of him
powder.
doing it. Yeah, like after the startup animation, it looks really cool, but then I feel like if he was in the base game, there would just be more nuance in the second half of the attack. But it feels like it's like, hey, we got a deadline to hit. DLC, get this guy out of here. My one gripe, but
my one gripe.
One of many. Fuck GT Goku. I hate him.
A lot of questions about. Okay, I got to read this one from EduCat. Okay, Alex, I need to know: did Ben commit suicide in order to achieve the cult? How old is he, and what is his sexuality?
Dude, what?
I'm seriously going insane trying to find the answer. Just tell me. I'll give you my number, anything. I need to know.
Oh, my God.
I'm actually interested in the last part, too.
What is his sexuality? I didn't...
When you were writing this character, you were thinking,
like
I can't wait for people to be asking about this man's sexuality.
Oh, the internet, man. What is wrong with the internet?
What's his sexuality?
He's a 12-year-old kid. I don't know.
I don't think he knows yet. I think he just goes wherever the wind blows, you know? Goes with his gut. That's what kids do. They don't know.
I think he's listening to Immortal Technique up in his mom's room. It's like, fuck, I'm just going to drown myself now. It's so sad.
Jesus. Oh, my God. Yeah, these are all...
Yeah, Ben ascended when he was 12, and Ben is 16 is read from the wiki. What?
Is that not authorized?
I don't know. I don't give a shit.
You're telling me Wiki is not authorized from the creators?
Well, no. So here's it. Like, here's the thing: is that this stuff has taken on a life of its own since I put it out in the public mind share, and I don't know. I'm not gonna like contest it at this point. I'm not that involved. I know I'm not that invested in like he needs to be 12 forever. You want to be 16.
Ghosts don't age.
Ghosts don't age, dummy. And then Tizify says, I've never clicked out of Pornhub so fast in my life.
I'm assuming it's you saw the upload and you have notifications on, so thank you.
Well, you can actually follow us on Pornhub at pornhub.com/thedigitalfireside.
Where you'll see nothing different. It's just
Nothing
another
different.
platform to where
Yes.
we'll be talking. So in case you need to, you see a parked car in the driveway, you're like, oh shit, I need to get rid of this boner.
Right.
Watch us.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to answer the door.
It's educational.
It is.
It is.
Educational. We're
That's
here for you guys. We're here to help.
absolutely.
We're not heroes.
We're not heroes.
We're just guys.
Okay.
Next vid, we go to the...
That would be a funny transition if we did.
Oh.
We're not yet. We'll come to that one in a second.
The Pro Jared video.
Yes. So moving along. The
this
curious case of Pro Jared. Dead. What?
Pause it.
Oh. Well, it's muted anyway.
Oh.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Okay.
I actually comment on this one.
I did see that when you come.
I remember
You got 11 likes. Look at you.
Oh my God. I got really excited for a minute there about World of Warcraft Classic. And I remember talking about that for the majority of the first part of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey, at 21 minutes and 30 seconds, that's when Alex stops being a nostalgia dweeb and actually starts talking about Pro Jared. Yeah, I don't know if I'm excited for World of Warcraft Classic anymore.
It was not. It's
I don't know. I just like...
You forgot about it.
Kind of. I'm just like, I don't really have realistic time anymore to do that, and I don't know.
And
We'll
if
it
you
comes out
do
this
get
month.
into it, it'll probably be one of those things where you start to make time for it, and it's just not.
Yes. So if the digital fireside just stops being uploaded, it's like, well, Alex has a level 60 night elf now, so
Ooh,
joke's on you guys.
69 elf, is that
Raid
alluding to
multicore.
some type of rule 34?
What? Oh, probably. I mean,
69
knowing
elf.
the internet.
It's confirmed Ben's girlfriend was a level 69 elf.
The timelines add up. It makes sense.
Lavender Lumos. Hate to be the person. It's Sailor Mercury. I knew it.
It's Sailor Mercury.
I kept saying Mars. And I knew it was the M one, but I couldn't think of it. But
Oh, for context, that
yeah, that
was the person that Pro Jared
Pro
dressed up
Jared,
as.
dressed up as weirdly, but and showed his dick. But yeah, I think it's like 4 people who say that in the comments. Like,
Well,
actually, it's Sailor Mercury. It's just like, all right, well, sick.
All right,
dude.
Chill.
Chill.
Jesus.
Gordon plays League of Legends. What? Yes, he does. Gordon Hayward, the NBA player from
Oh.
Brownsburg. Yes, we talked about him a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, he does. You can go find him on there. He's like actually, I don't know what it's called, like Black Diamond or whatever the hell it is, like super up there.
Ultimate Diamond.
Yeah, something. I don't know. But yeah, he's been playing quite a bit for a long time.
Pete Badick. Pete Badick.
Bad dick.
Pete Bad Dick.
Bad dick.
Girl, let me give you some of that bad dick. What up?
That's not that case. She's like, oh, damn, that dude has bad dick. That's what it is. It's not, give me that bad dick.
That's a good saying by Pete. I bet you he had to think that through. He's like, wait a second. How can I reclaim this?
He's actually the 4th one. He bagged the 4th.
Luke's friend Pete sounds rad.
Aren't
Pete says.
Peter's, dicks too. So his Dick is his name.
It's Pete Richard Baddick, actually. So, sweet. Moving on. You want to do this one?
Kigogi22. Oh, I know this. I recognize that. Hey, y'all. I was late getting around to listening, and I had a question for the code episode.
Get a little bit away from the phone.
What was kind of
trying to eat
what was
it.
the kind of work y'all did? Was it innovating sites, coming up with brand new stuff, or was it pure debug days? Where are the replies on that guy? Also, a great job with the podcast. Have been great to listen to during work. All right.
Thank you, Kai Gogi.
Kaigogi.
Well, I mean, a lot of my work that I did was looking up a lot of SEO indexing, different sort of analytical trends, looking at different bounce rates, trying to kind of retain people. I forget the right term it was. It was like some sort of there was a term for it where it was like the path of least resistance, or the There's like a throughput line where basically it's like how many clicks does it take to get to what the information you want is, and then they kind of base the whole website off of that because like basically the less clicks it takes to get to what you want to find, the more path of knowledge. Oh my God, it's on the tip of my freaking tongue. I'm sure I'll think of it after this is over.
You know what's funny though is that I think this person is talking about, because what we talked about the coding episode was where we met each other and where we came from, and that certain academy we went to. What did we do there is what he's probably asking. What type of work did we do in that environment?
I don't think so.
I think so because I feel like I know who that is.
You think so?
That's Keegan. That's 100% Keegan.
I know that was him. Shout out Keegan.
Shout out Keegan.
Cool guy. I like him. Well, why did he ask it? Because I think he knows what we did. He did that.
That's what I was trying to get you to say. Anyway.
What did you do, Luke?
I didn't do anything. I really didn't.
All right.
I mean, honestly, we just did the coursework that went for us. You know, we just learned the basics, learned how to do just...
I don't think he's talking. Keegan, if you could write in again and clarify what you're talking about, we'll address it in like 3 more months. All right. I Control My Fate writes in, you guys are asking a good question. I was thinking about this. What is Jared going to do now? Pictures of him will be floating around the internet forever. It's unlikely any job would be comfortable with hiring someone with that kind of baggage. I always wonder, what would a professional YouTuber be like when they are at the retirement age? Can they retire? If I ever got YouTube money, I'd invest immediately. And then Lavender Lumos writes back and says, his life is ruined. Should have kept his dick in his pants.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Boom.
The internet wins.
Always.
Good job, Lavender.
Always keep your dick in your pants. I don't know. I don't get the whole concept behind dick pics. I just don't.
I get the concept.
I mean, I get it.
I get why.
I think it's a misfire on our part.
It's never going to land.
Part.
It's never going
to work. I don't think there's any girl out there that's like, man, can't wait for those dick pics to come out. Like, they don't have the same kind of aesthetic as like, whatever. I can get into a whole topic about this. I just don't think. I think it's always a mistake to send out a dick pic. It can only be used to hurt you, never to benefit you.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless you're extremely blessed and they're like, oh, now I got to go to your house. Now I got to see this.
I don't even think that's a thing.
I think it's a thing.
I don't think that's a real thing.
I think it's.
I would have found out by now if that was a thing.
Like, well, now I have to see the person because this is ridiculous. That's the only way. But you know.
Okay.
But it was a good.
That is a great question, and I don't have an answer to that. I think he's kind of forced at this point to.
I mean, he could easily be behind the scenes person somewhere. He just won't be in the forefront of anyone's sponsorship or anything like that, or no one's gonna be. You know, I was watching a funny thing, just reruns of Dave Chappelle talking about O.J. Simpson, and how he wanted a picture, like O.J. wanted a picture with him and Chris Rock after they're famous.
I saw that.
He's
yeah.
Nope. He's like, our careers are too flimsy to take a picture with you, O.J. But like 20 years before, you're like, oh my God, yes, I want to take a picture with the juice.
Yeah.
but
they
it's the same thing. Like Pro
way
Jared.
more money though. Like OJ.
Oh yes, I know. I'm saying, but the sample is there to where Pro Jared now no one's gonna really want to work with him unless I don't know who it is that could vouch for him. Probably.
But what do you vouch? Like, hey.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But like, hey, Southern was a pretty good show, right? Like that's how you do. That's how you damage control that. Like it was a pretty good show. I mean, those pictures say a lot.
Yeah.
And,
so he'll find work, just not the work he probably wants.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, there was a girl. I don't even want to name her name because she's such a gargantuan piece of shit. But she was on the internet yesterday. A YouTuber who makes this like YouTube series about her and her dog. And yesterday, she accidentally uploaded the deleted scenes. Did you see that?
Yeah,
dude,
dog abuser?
Oh my, yes.
Yeah.
I got so upset watching that. She spit on the dog. Did you see that?
I mean,
Dude, what kind of weird human does that? Like, I mean, hitting is one thing, and that's terrible in of itself. But like, to hate something so much that you spit on it.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Like how humans do to other humans.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Well,
but
I know,
people care more when it's a dog for some weird reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I still maintain that if you want, well,
makes no sense.
I've
always wondered that.
I maintain that like Americans care more about dogs than other Americans, and
it's 100% true.
I think. Never mind. I'm not even saying that. I'm not even gonna go that far. Never mind.
It's a lot of never minds. I'm holding
Yep.
back.
Yep, I'm
People
holding
don't
back.
want you to hold back.
I'm holding
All
back.
right, other person.
But it's like that where it's like she's fucked. How do you even
Yeah.
come back from that? Like, I mean, it's one thing where it's like
Yeah,
with
people love
Jared,
their dogs, man.
dude, I would, God,
Children and dogs, you can't come back
those
from.
are the two things. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I hate her.
You're done.
Hate her with all my guts. And she's like wanting to be an actress now. I'm like, you are never gonna work. I will make it my mission in life. I will send that video to all your employers. Whatever. I don't give that much of a shit. But.
All right, here we go. Nick Reaper 316 says, "Hey, I just noticed that you started uploading again. I'm sure you get asked this a lot, and this is not the most appropriate place for it. But whatever happened to that project you were working on called Methods of Revolution? I remember you had a fundraiser or something, and then it went quiet. I tried googling it every now and then for a few years and never found much information about it past the initial pitch."
Yeah, so I definitely have explained this before several times, but I get it because a lot of people are just kind of coming and rediscovering my stuff again. He's like, oh, he's back. He's been back for a few months or whatever. That's been probably the biggest challenge of my life is trying to get that film off the ground. And I remember we talked about in the Etika video where I was like, I thought that I had enough life experience to make a movie to accomplish the same kind of stuff that I wanted to do with that. Oh, God. Wait, hang on. Let me talk about this first. You can pull that.
I'm not pulling it out.
Okay. Yeah, that's been something that has been really a big challenge for me to kind of get it off the ground and get where it needs to be. And that's something that I want to conclude on and finish that up. There's been multiple rewrites of it. There's been multiple iterations of it. Yeah, I mean, it's still in production, but because of that, the extenuating circumstances, everyone that's reached out to me, like on the Kickstarter, has messaged me on the Kickstarter and asked for a refund. I've given it to them because I understand that. I mean, ideally, I'd like to try and make it happen, and it will happen eventually, but, I wasn't in a right place to deliver the message that I wanted to deliver. I thought I was, and I wasn't, and I needed more life experience, which I ended up getting over the next few years to do it. So, I'm not going to give a time frame or timeline of it, but
don't do it.
keep posted. Keep yourself posted on that.
All right. And so now we move on to the DMT with Chris.
Mr. Chris Cat.
That's you guys.
Tell them.
So here you go with the Wolf Cat. Sorry, Jad. No amount of DMT can cure the Ben Jad fan base. I wasn't
Facebook.
looking.
Ben John Facebook.
Fan base.
You're right. It's a damn shame. It's just a real bummer.
These are the guys that loved my story. Fuck.
No, I mean, when you have something that reaches that many people.
I mean, when you have such a phenomenon in your brain.
Yeah, I was looking up TikTok videos because someone sent it to me on Twitter.
Oh, okay. It's not because you like TikTok and you wish that you were a TikTok star?
That was my secret ambition.
Like
Nobunaga's ambition. TikTok.
Hit or miss.
I guess they never miss, huh? Did I send you that video the first time?
You did, and I was worse for it.
TikTok been drowned, dude. There are
I agree. No amount of DMT can cure that.
Dude, there are plenty of people that have grown up since it first came out. It's a decade old at this point, almost, and it appeals to people like I would say in high school. So
that was me. You don't see me doing that. In 2010, I was a sophomore.
Oh my God.
So by that logic, these guys are just weird. Just weird.
Well, you know what?
I thought you were gonna say like
when you
it's
reach
for, like,
enough people like that,
9-year-olds,
like that,
16-year-olds, 15-year-olds.
I love them all. All right. This is where we get into nitty gritty kind of stuff. Bizarre Arag, Jesus Christ, writes in and says, "This is nonsense. Chris was banned from Reddit and his PayPal account was suspended for giving teenagers money and making false claims. Chris even tried to fly some of them out to his ranch to further brainwash them. Your promotion of this crazy pseudoscience is shameful."
It's like Michael Jackson. Come out to my ranch.
It is kind of a ranch. I've been out there firsthand. It is kind of a ranch.
Some chickens and shit.
Yeah. See, that's kind of where I was getting some pushback on that stuff that we talked about at the very beginning here. And it's like, I'm not promoting it. I'm just kind of like letting him on to say his piece, and I was interested in what he had to say. So again, like Digital Fireside, as of right now, and this could change down the line, a year from now, 2 years, whatever, but it's kind of a people that I find interesting, or Luke finds interesting, that we have on, that we talk to. And just because they appear on the show is not a tacit endorsement of everything that they've ever fucking said or done. It's you are adults here, except for that TikTok video. You are adults here. You can make up your own minds with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but don't project because you assume. Don't project onto Alex what you
yes,
believe.
Yeah.
And
I got
then-
a lot of
that's-
shit. I had to
that's
delete
just-
some stuff because
It's not even like
yeah.
if you just listen, if you just use your brain,
Use
you'll
your
understand.
earballs.
You don't hear him say once, and the stuff that's been released, I don't think you hear him say once that. Yeah, this is it.
This is it. This is the
This
truth.
needs to be on the shelves. Everyone needs this.
Yes.
Like no, that's endorsing. That's
Well, so here's the thing: is that at the beginning of this episode, I did say I think most everyone should try DMT if they feel like it. I'm not pushing everyone to do it.
no.
I'm not endorsing him because
Right.
people are
Him, the
People are
product. That's why you said it's been around forever.
right. I
But we
think that's
digress.
a very important distinction to make. I am very curious to see how this whole stuff plays out. I hope that it unfortunately. I don't want to say the exact same thing I said about Etika because he ended up killing himself later. So I hope that this is this kind of starts to die down because it's getting kind of scary a little bit. I hope that Chris kind of gets the help that he needs.
How old is he?
He's 56, 57.
Okay.
And he's pushed a lot of people away that really care
How it
about
starts,
him.
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And I am, for better for worse, I'm grateful that I got to have that experience. I mean, going out to LA and kind of living that sort of lifestyle for a little bit was very cool, and that DMT stuff was really powerful. And I want to find the right platform to say it and kind of make sure that I'm not talking about the stuff off the cuff where I could slip up and use the wrong kind of words that I
Right.
don't mean. So I'll leave it at that.
It's a good segue to that one, but
What, Nate?
yeah.
Okay. Nate Thomas writes and says, I'm not sure I can accept many of the hypotheses that Chris brings out. While it may have helped him to achieve a level of consciousness that he believes to be therapeutic, I want to see studies in the backing that he is trying to bring it out from. To be fair, I was a bit triggered with the idea of comparing my son with autism as a happy schizophrenic. I 100% get that. I'm trying to stay open after that, but I feel that was a bit hyperbolic and showed a lack of understanding of what's happening in an autistic person's brain. Regardless, I'd love to see the backing that he uses for his hypotheses. Please link some stuff in the YouTube
See,
description.
and that's what you need in your
Yes.
comment section. The people who are on one side, interested in what he has to say, but not going to be shut down about it, and
Right.
not going to be like, "Oh, this is great." He wants to
Yes.
see the Carfax. That's all he's asking.
Show me the Carfax.
Yeah, he's not
Show,
sa-
show me.
He's not saying, screw you for comparing my son. He's like, I
Yeah.
was a bit alarmed.
I would be too. To be honest,
Right.
if I was in Nate's position, I would be too.
Yeah, 100%
And,
understandable.
This was 2 months ago, so
Sorry, Nate.
yeah. Again, not endorsing everyone that comes on here, but in my experience, Chris can be a little hyperbolic, and we'll see what happens with all that stuff. This one,
Christy Atwood says, thank you for bringing the education. I've shared as much as I can. You really, really put into words so well exactly what I found in my own research and DMT journey.
well, so here's another thing with Chris is he has gotten this reputation for making what's called sock puppet accounts to basically kind of stroke his own dick. So, well, let's see what this person is. Well, this might be a real person.
No views.
No, 3 second long video.
That's not him yet. Okay.
Yeah, but so regardless, I think some of that messaging can get mixed up because
Yeah, he makes burner accounts.
yes, yeah. Well, at least I don't know if he was doing this as far back as 2 months ago, but he in his newest videos, yeah, he for sure is. I think this is such a nuanced issue that I know I want to get all these videos, so I don't want to dwell on this too much. But Yeah, so Jonathan Burns says he was banned from r/DMT for supposedly making claims without backing any of it up. They claim he has gone off the deep end. IDK just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm going to listen anyway. And I agree. I think that he talks about... Oh, wait. He says, also, it is said no one can find that he is a Yale graduate, and that's how it looks so bad for him. I'd like to know more for sure. Maybe they're trying to silence him. I actually... This is before I went out to LA. I confirmed that he has graduated from Yale. Unless he's got some really convincing fake diplomas. Yeah. And he is very wealthy. But I think some of that stuff, it overlaps with a lot of... like, if that's a problem with attaching a human figure or a leader to almost like a DMT movement or psychedelic. Because, like, humans are fallible. They are corruptible. They are, easy to kind of break down, I guess. As opposed to something like I wanted to stress the importance of like distancing DMT from Chris. I promote DMT because again, like someone like Joe Rogan who's never heard of Chris won't shut up about DMT, and for good reason. But he doesn't subscribe to the same kind of stuff that Chris does too. There's more. This will all be in this new documentary I'm going to be working on.
Noise Kid's got a good comment.
Yeah, let me make sure that we have how we're doing on time. Okay, yeah, we're fine. Noise Kid writes in and says, from my experience, I don't know how effective DMT would be if one takes SSRIs. I was never able to break through, and I honestly had some profoundly depressing experiences. Some wild situations, but nothing on a spiritual level like I wish for. Not on SSRIs anymore, but have not tried DMT again since going off. But the point being, I don't think this can work for just anyone, and for the people that are told this is a universal treatment and then find nothing and is profoundly disheartening, that is very important to be said. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I know that the people were saying that if you're on SSRIs, that can almost prevent you from having a breakthrough. I think that I agree with him that it doesn't just work for anyone. I think you have to be in a right sort of state of mind, which is why I was saying, like, I'm not going to push anyone to do it. And I feel like if you really want to do it, you will find it. You will figure it out without people trying to force you to do it or try and, hold your hand. And potentially those people would be in a better state of mind than people that are like gone into it kind of like, oh, I don't really want to do it. But, this guy's like, oh, dude, you got to try it. And then you kind of have like a bad experience to it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. SSRIs, he goes on to say SSRIs dampen psychedelics in general, so that's probably something. I smoked DMT on acid. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Hell, I smoked DMT on acid once, and it was super bizarre, and I felt like my brain was submersed in a really sour liquid and heard weird stuff, and I think I didn't break through, but I remember very little specifics. Oh, yeah, so Chris is saying that he has been smoking DMT so much now that he constantly sees these hallucinations. So like either he's lying about it, or he's like having some sort of psychotic straight up breakdown.
Jesus.
The last person who did DMT that much, I believe, was Terrence McKenna, and he ended up dying. And I think Chris if he is accurate with his claims, he was doing DMT probably 3 or 4 times a day when I was out there. He says he's doing it more than 10 times a day now, which I don't think any human should do that much.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine doing anything more than twice a day, to be honest, but whatever. Is
that one of those things where you gain tolerance for?
They believe that, and this is what I'm assuming, I don't know, I can't speak with an authority on this, but I think that they think that the DMT can self-regulate itself in the body so that eventually you just can't break through anymore until you take some time off. So we should just have an episode just about this stuff. I really want to talk with someone. Yeah, so Jake Smith says Terrence McKenna did more DMT than anyone and died of cancer.
The irony.
And then Noise Kid says, that was my first thought. So Terrence also believed that doing it twice a year was doing it a lot, compared to this dude who claimed to do it every day. Also, look into the brain tumor that Terrence had.
Was it ginormous?
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Terrence McKenna, to be honest. He was really into psychedelics. Like, it was a part of his personality and promoting that sort of stuff, from what I understand. Now we'll go into behind the scenes of the porn industry. Let's see what that says. This is the one with Jennifer White. let's see. You want to read this one?
Anonymous. Started off writing glorified Zelda fan fiction in his college dorm. Now is smoking DMT with famous porn stars. What a legend.
Thanks. I guess. I don't know what your question was, but.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
It's just a comment.
Agree, says Illa Borodin. Yeah, it was a wild experience. Google user writes in and says, get you a girl that looks to you like Jennifer was looking at Alex by the end of this video. Okay. Thank you.
We truly live in the best timeline. I'm not even joking, though. This is awesome for sex work representation. Thank you, Alexandre Ball.
Bali, right?
Bali? That's an I.
That's an I,
Bali.
yeah. Joey JoJo
Hey,
says,
JoJo
pretty lady.
reference?
And then, it's the same guy from the last video. This guy, we got into it. I actually commented on this one, too. We got into a back and forth YouTube fight, which is worth reading if you go back to that video.
There's a hard-on for antagonizing.
Kind of a dick.
I don't remember at first. I don't respond to comments. I don't.
Ever since we started reading these, I'm like, well, I should at least see what some of these have to say.
All right.
All right. Whatever. Moving on.
To
honoring Etika?
sure.
Okay.
It's one of the bigger ones.
Yeah. Okay. So
We're gonna be very careful with what we read here.
Yeah, I think
Don't
so.
want to revisit it too much. I think a lot of them were comments that you wouldn't name Reset Era.
Yeah.
A lot of the comments were that, trying to call you a bitch, as if they're going to come and break your legs at your door.
This was mean internet fucking people. Yeah, I think my perspective of that was like the internet forum that I was talking about was called Reset Era, and it is a haven for a lot of very far left people that quote themselves as very progressive and are like these insanely isolated echo chambers that are very fascinating to watch, to be honest. But it kind of became less fascinating when someone that they didn't like, Etika, ended up dying, and then they showed this very two-faced, despicable nature of them being like, oh my God, I just R.I.P., wish you could have gotten the help he deserved, or yada, yada, yada. When, like, there was, like, a thread about him, a month ago of, like, them kind of making fun of him for having a mental breakdown and just kind of antagonizing him. And it's interesting how, and I think almost this is, like, just intrinsic to human beings in general, that even the people that are trying to be, like, the quote-unquote most tolerant of us are still tribalistic in the sense where if someone isn't a part of this tribe, i.e. someone like Etika who, said some things that maybe weren't PC or jived with, what the hive mind of Reset Era thinks, then they kind of take the gloves off and are like, oh, well, we're going to throw all this horrible shit at him and accuse him of all this sort of stuff and, like, acting like they forget the person behind this sort of stuff. I think they view him as a chess piece instead of an actual human. And it's sad. And I think that behavior deserves to be called out, but I also didn't want to give too much attention to that form because, it's slowly kind of on its way out and it's dying. And I think that's a good thing, to be honest. I think echo chambers hurt everyone. And that kind of censorship and that sort of two-faced behavior is despicable. And I think that more and more people are realizing that. And it's a far cry from what that forum originated on, which was from NeoGAF, and that was a few years ago where that kind of whole thing broke. But less time we waste on that, the better, I think.
Here's a good one that I think needs to be read by Tyra Roberta. Yeah, Tyra Roberta. There's also some people that I'm just going to correct it right here.
Sure.
There's also some people that don't have things going for them, and they want to ruin another person's life just so they can sound good. To me, I feel that's wrong. What did Etika do to that person? For anyone who knows him knows that answer. It's how I feel about the world at times. A lot of people just don't care who they're hurting, and they don't care who they're saying it to. The smallest thing can affect a person emotionally, and it takes a long time for them to recover on their own. I always tell these people to put themselves in the shoes that they are hurting. If they were smart, they would feel the pain they are going through and change the way they treat people. Sorry for my ranting, but these things tend to affect me because I've been through it. Even though that what I went through is 10 times worse, but I've always learned that you don't take these things with a grain of salt. Everyone sees the world differently.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like the overall message of that, but there were some sprinkled in things of, I don't know, kind of like condescendence.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it came off. I know what you're trying to do here. You spread the word of love. I like it.
Yeah.
But maybe proofread it next time to where it doesn't come off as a. Well, actually, yes, there are grammatical errors, so it's hard
Oh
to
my
read.
God.
But
Jesus.
don't
Leave it alone.
Right,
God.
but don't try to sound so elitist about it.
Yeah.
Who it's all relative. Like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you've been through. You say what you've been through is 10 times worse than what Etika's been through. Oh, Etika's not here.
Well, Attica's dead, so.
And then again, I don't want to challenge you, but at the same time, in my head, it says, who are you to say this isn't the limit for some other person that you have no idea what he's been through?
Yeah.
Just because he's in the public eye.
Well, it's all relative.
I know, it's all relative, so saying that kind of makes it rub off the wrong way, but I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it.
Yeah.
Just for, just format it a little better. Okay, moving on. Roxy the Button. Oh, no, we're not doing that. The bunny. Hey, dude, can you shout out Cray Day? Go ahead, Alex.
This is Alex Hall, a.k.a. Jad Usable. I just want to give a shout-out to my man, Cray Day. It's a payday when you're with Cray Day.
All right, you did that.
You like that? Shout out Cray Day. What up? You the man.
This is a cool one. You should read that one.
Which one?
V.O. Betty's Life.
V.O. Betty's Life. Me, my brother, and his friends have a Minecraft server that has a graveyard. Ever since Etika died, we made a grave just for him. Made of solid gold, flowers around it, and diamonds thrown inside. Joy-Con boys forever.
Mm-hmm.
It is so damn cool how much of an impact he's made on people. And I think that he'll probably never really know. He never really knew that extent of it. That's.
And a lot of times it's not like the clout people. Because if you're coming on our page commenting this, you're not looking for clout.
Right.
Like, this is not getting more
We
than
keep
a
it
couple
real.
of thousand. I'm just saying, like, no
Except
one
for
really
Cray
knows that this is going on. Like,
Cray Day.
our show.
Cray Day.
So it's like, you'd go to somewhere more popular and say that. I don't know if he's posted that 1,000 times or not.
Well, yeah.
But to me, it seems like I'd like to think we're special. And so, yeah, it is
Yeah.
cool that he's done that. And also,
That's why I like the underground kind of show. Like a few
Yeah.
thousand views is great. I like it. But,
yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. Via Betty's Life. It's a good move by you guys. Keep giving them flowers. I'm sure he appreciates it.
a lot of Joy-Con boys forever.
Yeah. And then R.I.P. Etika. Damn right.
All right.
I think
We're
we'll
almost
do
done?
one more.
One
One more.
We have been.
Because
friends.
the other one, you just.
I know.
One more.
All right, postgraduate education. I like this one a lot because we talked with an old teacher of mine, and we talked about some pretty cool topics. Let's see here. Unknown says, "Dude, you're awesome. Keep up the good work." He's talking to you, Luke.
No, he's definitely talking to you.
No, I'm talking to both of us.
No one's ever saying.
What about Pete?
No one ever could. Yeah, Pete.
We
Yeah,
need
shout out
people
Pete. Woo.
Write into Luke. We need people writing in
No,
questions to
you're
Luke.
good. Don't feel pressure. Don't let Alex pressure you into doing something you don't want to do.
That's right. If you learned anything from today, don't give in to pressure. Cray Shut up, Cray
Cool. One of my favorite teachers. I'm assuming someone that knows you.
It's a good assumption. It's really.
What? You're the creator of Ben?
Yep.
What?
Pewd's fangirl. PewDiePie? Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to get copyrighted.
PewDiePie. I enjoyed this, but however, I wish Alex challenged Franklin on more of his points instead of just letting them go. Quote, Hillary being compared to Jesus? Really? End quote. I don't think he actually compared Hillary Clinton to Jesus Christ. If memory serves, I think it was
It's probably the notion of
No.
someone to look up to.
It was no.
So
I'm pretty sure.
Ipso facto, Hillary's Jesus.
No, I refuse to even entertain that. I think what he was saying was that there was someone that came before, like Peter or someone. I forget. I'm not well versed in my Bible stuff. He wasn't saying Hillary was Jesus. He was saying that Hillary was the person that kind of paved the way for someone like Jesus Christ to come in, which may be unfairly putting too much pressure on the next female president candidate. But as to why I didn't challenge him on more of his points, I know I agree with a lot of stuff that he said. But you know,
It's part of having a guest on. They're here to
Yeah.
say their piece as well.
yeah, like that's the biggest thing is that I don't want.
You pick your battles.
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, I didn't agree with everything that Franklin said on the podcast, just like I didn't agree with everything that Ben said on the podcast, in terms of like endorsing everything.
Right.
I'm not the kind of person that says I agree with something and then like secretly, no, I didn't really, whatever. It's just stuff that I just chose to kind of let go or whatnot. I don't want this to be a platform where people have to come on and worry about like these gotcha moments where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, so it says here,
Yeah.
5 years ago on Twitter, you said, fuck Barack Obama. What's that all about? You want to explain that, Dick? It's like, I'm just here to talk about my new Starbucks promotion that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want, I want this to be like a safe environment where, you know, you can feel free to say kind of your piece. As long as it's not super like inflammatory, I would feel like.
Right, and that's also part of the gig. Like, why do you go on? Why do celebrities agree to go on certain shows? Granted, if you're Oprah or Ellen, you're going on there because it's Oprah and Ellen.
Yeah.
But if you're going on to the Today Show or something like that, it's the Today Show, but in normal people, you're going on there to promote something. You're getting something out of it as well.
Yeah.
So same thing with here. We're not that, but the example is there. The example is there to where they feel like they want to say something. We're not going to come in here and, you know, shove our fist down their throat
Jesus, dude. All right.
and be like, "You don't know what you're talking about, you son of a bitch!" Like,
Let's bring up his Twitter feed from
That's like-
2011.
Think about that every single time. This is not like a high school lunchroom.
Yeah.
To where you just get shit on for whatever you say. You
And
know?
like, you know, I think I would like to maybe do some debate, and maybe at some point when we get closer to like, you know, the election or something. But that would be, I would let all parties know ahead of time that like, hey, this might be a debate, or this is going to be like a debate environment or whatnot. I don't ever want to like have someone come on and feel like they have the rug swept out underneath them and be like, I don't want to like, you know, because I mean, I don't want to have to like feel like I'm on guard when I go on a guest star in
Right.
someone's show. It's
you want to
just
be
like,
relaxed. Do you want to see? You ever see the Monty Python show?
Yeah.
Do you remember? You may not the episodes with the argument.
No.
To where
You're right. I did not.
this guy comes in, he goes, "I'd like to have an argument," and he pays for someone to have an argument with him, and it's like argument agency. And they just go over and goes, "That'll be $5 more." Like, the argument's over. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's pretty good. It's funny that you said that because I literally just watched it 2 days ago because I had finished The Holy Grail. And so I was like, I'll just watch more of the show. And
Good taste and stuff, man. You know what you should
It's
watch?
hilarious.
That's kind of it for the questions. Whatever. I'm going to go off topic. You know what you should watch? There's this show called Letterkenny. Have I told you about this?
No.
Dude, it's really good. It's about these guys that live in like I want to say I don't know if this is fictional or not, but it's like Letterkenny County in Canada, and they're like Canada rednecks, so they're very polite, and they have like the snappiest writing I think I've seen in a show in a long time, and it started off being like this kind of like dumb turn your brain off humor, and it still is.
And what's
but
it called again?
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny.
So like letter, like writing a letter, then Kenny, like Kenny from South Park.
Okay.
It took me a few episodes to really get into it, but then it's like very, very charming in a weird way. They make a reference to Joe Rogan and DMT. But I have a feeling that's going to be a big kind of hit show. And also, have you seen Annihilation?
No.
Came out last year. Criminally underrated. One of the best psychological kind of like thrillers I have seen.
Really into that stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, the
Like
Black Mirrors and all
sci-fi.
that stuff.
Yeah, it's like kind of like Black Mirror in a weird way. Like sci-fi kind of stuff. It's really good. I would definitely. I think it's on Hulu. Anyone's watching this, go watch Annihilation. It's got
Those
Natalie Portman
underground,
in
those
it.
subscription services are stepping up their game big time.
Where
Like
do
I
you- yeah.
know Amazon Prime. I mean, it's no secret now, but when it came out, I was watching it. The Boys. Did you hear
Yeah,
about
you were
that?
talking about that.
Yeah.
How is that?
It's phenomenal.
Really? What's it
It's
about?
phenomenal. It's like a Elseworld Justice League pretty much.
Okay.
To where, like, what if they were actually here in the world that we're in? And it's adapted from the comic books, but not too faithfully, but it's pretty there. A lot of the same things are there, but some things, it's an adult comic, so, like, not a lot of things could make it, but they did save room for some things. But it's like, there's a guy called the Homelander who's pretty much Superman. So, like, what if these guys all do things for glory and money and stuff? They don't do it for the sake of, I have this innate feeling to help people with the powers I've been given. It's because I can buy the world with this stuff, or like I will be popular and stuff like that. So they get these people called the Seven, and this company that I won't tell you much about it because it tells you in the show. But
I'll watch it for sure.
It's this company that kind of runs all this stuff, and it's just really interesting to think about. Like, if people were given powers today, would you really change that much as a person? Would you still be just as egotistical?
But
you have powers now?
Yeah.
Like, who's going to tell you what? You know, it's kind of like, do you really think you'd get denied at studios if you had laser vision? Hey, put my show on the air. No. What? And then when they he threatened me with what? Laser vision. It's like, you can't, like, there's, like, you just don't show the laser vision. I mean, like, it's really good, but it's about,
I'll watch it.
You know, this, and then later about that, it's more about them, but it's also the other half, which are the boys who get together to take down these superheroes who are trying to people believe that they're, like, amazing, all this stuff, but they know the real side of them.
Oh,
but they're not
what
the limelight, shows.
Okay.
And also, there's this third character.
Oh boy.
Who's in the Seven that grew up to want to be in the Seven and is now in the Seven and realizes it's not what she wanted it to be.
Oh.
And so you get those three perspectives, which is really good. It's really well done, well written, amazing acting.
Okay.
Amazing acting.
I'll have to check it out.
I mean, yeah, you could tell some budget stuff because Amazon Prime for a season, but it has been renewed for a second season. And the ending will flip your shit.
Okay.
And it will flip your shit.
I need a new show to watch.
The Boys.
The Boys.
50-minute episodes or hour-long episodes. There's 8 of them.
Mm-hmm. I like Letterkenny because it started as a YouTube show, and they got picked up by Crave TV, and it's on Hulu now.
There you go.
You should really watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about with the snappy writing in the first few minutes of the first episode. Letterkenny. It's pretty funny. And it's like you ever see Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Canadian level humor, but like with rednecks. It's really
I mean, Trailer Park Boys is pretty redneck.
Yeah, but like it's different kind of redneck. It's hard to explain.
Sorry.
You'll see. But it's charming in a weird Canadian way. Anyway, that is going to do it unless you can think of anything else to waste people's time with, Luke.
No, I think they heard enough of us.
I think they have too. This is probably gone on a little long. Yeah. So we will start this next comment roundup thing.
Comment roundup.
We'll start this next comment roundup thing starting at the newest video that just came out today called Ben Frowned. That's the interview with Benjamin Boyce. Oh, it's a pun, in case you
know
guys...
what's funny about that fake laugh I just did?
What?
Is that I was actually about to start really laughing. Is how stupid it was. Oh, shit.
Stamped all this.
Oh, my God. We got some comments already. But, yeah.
Yeah, we got 13.
Right.
Anyway.
But yeah, anyway.
All right. Well, awesome, guys. You can write in at contact@thedigitalfireside.com. I forgot to read those emails today. We're kind of out of time now. I'll read them next time. And we will... You can follow me on at Alexander D. Hall on Twitter, Facebook. And that's it. Luke?
Follow me on Twitter at AndyChubbs with 2 B's. And you can follow me on Instagram at AndyChubbs with 2 B's.
2 B's.
And you can follow the Digital Fireside on Instagram at The Digital Fireside.
That's right. That's right, Luke. Thank you, you beautiful people. And we will catch you guys next time.
Peace.
See ya.
The thing is,
what?
I'm starving right now.
Why don't you eat beforehand?